All right, today we're cracking open the modern defender's playbook. We're going way beyond just firewalls and passwords, diving deep into the layered strategies that really protect our digital lives in a world where the threats just never stop.
So let me ask you something. When you think cybersecurity, what pops into your head? Is it a single massive wall? A giant impenetrable fortress standing guard? For a long time, that's pretty much how everyone saw it. But that way of thinking is not just old, it's actually dangerous now.
The reality? It's way more complex. The name of the game today is Defense in Depth. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like a medieval castle. A castle isn't just one big wall, right? It's got a moat, then an outer wall, then an inner wall, guards, towers, the whole 9 yards. The idea is if an attacker gets past one defense, boom, another one's right there waiting. So let's start building our own digital fortress, one layer at a time.
Okay, so where do you even begin building this castle? Well, the very first, and you could argue the most important layer, is all about finding your own flaws. It's about finding the cracks in your own walls before someone else does.
And to do that, defenders have a secret weapon. I want you to think of it like a digital building inspector, a tool that goes over every single inch of your application looking for any potential weak spot. And one of the best, most popular tools for this job is called OWASP ZAP. So you might be wondering how ZAP stacks up against its big commercial rival, Burp Suite. And here's the thing. Burp is great, but its free version, it's pretty restrictive. ZAP, on the other hand, is totally free and open source, and it comes packed with powerful features like automated scanning right out of the box. This is a huge deal. It basically democratizes security. It means anyone can run these advanced tests, not just giant companies with deep pockets. So how does this digital inspector actually, inspect? It's a pretty cool three-step dance. First, it does something called spidering, where it basically crawls through your entire app to draw a complete map, just like an attacker would. Next up is passive scanning. Here, it just watches the traffic flowing by, looking for any obvious red flags. And then, the main event, the active scan. This is where ZAP actually starts acting like a hacker, launching known attacks to see if it can find any real holes to break through. And what you get at the end is this super clear color-coded report. It immediately flags the really bad stuff, the high-risk, critical vulnerabilities in bright red. We're talking things like SQL injections that need to be fixed like yesterday. This lets defenders instantly see what's on fire and focus their energy where it matters most. All right, so we've played offense against ourselves. We've found the cracks and patched them up. Our walls are looking pretty solid. But the next question is, how solid are they really? How much of a beating can they take before they crumble? And that brings us to our second layer. Testing for strength. Now, this isn't as simple as just, throwing a bunch of traffic at your system and seeing what happens. That's the amateur approach. As the experts will tell you, a simple approach just doesn't cut it. Real stress testing is a science. It has to be methodical.
Here's another way to think about it. Imagine testing an elevator's weight limit. You wouldn't just have a guy jump up and down in it, right? No. You would carefully, methodically add weight, pound by pound, to find the exact point where it gives out. That's what stress testing is for a digital system. It's all about finding that precise breaking point under conditions that feel real.
And to get results that actually mean something, the setup is everything. Rule 1, the tests have to look like what real people would actually do. Rule 2, the machine doing the testing can't be the slow part. Otherwise, you're just testing your tester. And maybe most important of all, you have to simulate lots of different users. If you just use one over and over, the system might just serve up a pre-saved or cached answer. That makes it look super fast and strong, but it's totally fake. And just to give you a little peek behind the curtain at how technical this gets, look at this. These settings control how many things the system can do at once. If you set that number too high, the system gets overwhelmed just trying to manage all the tasks. That's called thread thrashing. But if you set it too low, you're not even testing its full potential. It's this incredibly delicate balancing act just to get the test itself right. Okay, we've found our weaknesses, we've tested our strength. Now for the really cool part. Our third layer is maybe the most advanced one yet, active deception. This is where we stop just building bigger walls and start creating digital camouflage. So, what's the problem we're trying to solve here? Well, even if your data is perfectly encrypted, attackers can still learn a ton just by looking at the patterns in your traffic. Think about it. They might not know what movie you're streaming, but that constant, heavy flow of data packets is a dead giveaway that you're streaming something. That metadata, the data about your data, can reveal a surprising amount. The solution is an incredibly clever technique called traffic obfuscation, and it is, quite literally, digital camouflage. Defenders will deliberately mess with their own network traffic to make the patterns totally random and meaningless. It's like a chameleon changing its colors to blend in. The goal is to make it impossible for an enemy's surveillance AI to have any clue what it's seeing. So how on earth does that actually work? Take a look at this. The blue line represents a normal, predictable traffic pattern, easy to spot. But the red line? That's the camouflaged version. By adding these tiny, almost insignificant bits of random data, researchers call them perturbations, you can totally change the statistical shape of the traffic. You're basically blinding the AI that's trying to watch you. Okay, so what's the catch? This has to slow everything down, right? All this extra data must create a ton of overhead. Well, the answer is actually mind-blowing. To pull off this incredible disappearing act, defenders only need to add, on average, this tiny amount of extra data to each packet. Let's really put that number into perspective. You can see a few different methods here, but the best one adds an average of just 14.5 bytes. To give you an idea of how small that is less data than the header of a simple email. It's basically nothing. You get this incredibly powerful, almost invisible defense for practically zero cost and performance. It's amazing. So there you have it. We've just walked through 3 very different, very powerful layers of digital defense. Let's wrap it all up and put it into our playbook. Here it is, the playbook in a nutshell. Move number 1, proactive discovery. Find your own weaknesses before the bad guys do. Move number 2, resilience testing. Don't just hope your system is strong, prove it. And move number 3, active deception. Stop just building walls and start blending into the background. Hide in plain sight. And that really brings us to the big takeaway. These layers we've talked about, this is the cutting edge of defense right now. But you have to remember, cybersecurity is a never-ending arms race. For every high wall a defender builds, an attacker is designing a taller ladder. For every clever piece of camouflage, someone is building better sensors. So that leaves us with one final, crucial question to think about. What does the next layer of defense even look like?